Hey everyone, Darren here from the Music Vault. Um, just got back from my vacation, my trip to Florida, and we had a blast. Great weather. When we were going down, it said that it would be crappy weather like 4 out of the 7 days that we were there, and it turns out that it was crappy like 1 day out of the 7. And that was like the shopping day. We had already deemed that that was the day we were gonna go, and they have all these outlet malls down in Florida, and that I had mapped out a bunch of record shops that I wanted to go to. One I just happened to stumble on, so of course I had to hit it. I spent a ton of money on vinyl this time on my holidays, but I put a lot of overtime in and saved a lot of money, so I spent a lot of money and I had fun doing it. So this video is going to be, I'm just going to be discussing or telling you guys, showing you guys what I got. The bulk of it is what I got on my Florida trip. I'm going to break it down per record shop. Like the first one that I went to, the second one, and what I got. I will say this, that the one record shop, the first record shop I hit, was priced outrageous. Just crazy expensive prices for what the records were. And I'll give you an example. I picked up, I'm sure a lot of you guys have ever heard of that band, Heavy Pettin'. They're an 80s kind of hard rock metal. It was in that vein of like Motley Crue type stuff, on the loose. And the record was a beat up copy. Like the cover was beat. It was well loved, I guess you could say. And he wanted $95 for it. No, I'm not one to get all amped on a first pressing. I'm not one to get amped on a German import versus a Canadian import versus an American. I could care less. My whole thing is I'd love to have a copy of the record. But I'm not paying $85, $95 for a record that came out 30 plus years ago, unless it's Rush and it's signed. At that point, even, but he just had, and and then I found myself, I was just grabbing records when I found them dirt cheap, like for $10. He would have like a compilation record that you're like, okay, cool to have, but I'm not really down here for that. I was down there to get stuff that would cost me a fortune that I can't find up here, and that would cost me a fortune to have buy and shipped from the States and everything like that. The last record shop that I'll talk about was probably my favorite. I had the least amount of time. That was in Daytona Beach. I had the least amount of time. As we were going into Daytona, I spotted it, and I said to my wife that I wanted to go and check it out. And she's like, "Oh, okay, whatever. We'll do it on the way out." And I'm like, "All right, fine." So we had gone into Daytona, and we walked around the boardwalk and that, and it was a bust. Like there was nobody out. It was kind of like it was a nice, beautiful day, but nobody was at the beach. I couldn't believe it. Nobody was at the beach. And it looked a little run down. Unless it's just like a party town and you go for bike week and the rest of the time it's just whatever. And we were there in the morning because where we were staying in Kissimmee, it's an hour and a half drive. So, yeah, it just, so on our way out, my wife, I said to my wife, I want to stop at that record shop. She let me. She goes, just go in and take a look around and see if it's got anything that you're gonna want. Well, as soon as I walked in, and I should have grabbed it, I had it in my hand and I was gonna grab it, and I ended up seeing something else and I put it back. I should have just grabbed it because it was cheap. It was only 15 bucks American, and it was like a 10-inch. Was the new Aborted. I should have grabbed it. I'm still kicking myself in the tail for not grabbing it. It's 15 bucks American. But as soon as I walked in, I spotted it, and I went back to my wife. I said, okay, can you just give me 20 minutes? So she's like, 15. I'm like, oh boy. So then I went in, and they hit a huge metal section. Anyways, I'll get to that when I get to those albums that I got there. The first couple I'm gonna show you are stuff I got here before I left. I went into the record shop up here just to browse around. I was at the Penn Center, which is a mall up here, and I figured, whatever. So I went in, and these are what I grabbed there. Malevolent Creation. This is kind of like a best of, or a compilation album of Malevolent. This is Memories of a Beast. This has got some great stuff on it. Divide and Conquer, Kill Zone, The Will to Kill, All That Remains, probably my favorite track on here. The Fine Art of Murder. Great Florida death metal right here. Malevolent Creation. A black metal band out of Sweden, I believe. I can't remember if it's Sweden or Norway. I think it's Sweden. And that is Drottnar. And this is their latest. I spotted this sitting in the record shop, and I'm like, whoa, you don't see that in here too often. So I grabbed this Monolith, and the disc is actually in the CD player right now. Another one I spotted, I got used. I spotted it. I don't know where. I can't remember where I got it from. Oh, probably the little video store. And that's Rush. Retrospect 74 to 81 or 74 to 80. This is the first Retrospect one. I have two. I don't have three, I believe. But it's a Rush album, and I wanted to get it. I love Rush, my favorite band. So, and the last one that I got up here before I left was this one, the new In Flames, Eye the Mask, Eye the Mask. What a surprise! This is a great disc. I'll be getting this on vinyl when I can find it. And the art's really cool. I love the cover. Like, that cover is really cool. All right, so that's just the stuff that I got up here. Now the stuff that I got down there, and I'll go in order of the when I bought them. First one, where we were staying, it had like a little mini fridge and that, and so we went in and we got some stuff for like a cooler and stuff like that, some drinks and that for the week, so we weren't blowing a fortune. Hold on. Excuse me. So we weren't blowing a fortune on pop and stuff like that, and food at the restaurant in the resort. So we just went to Walmart, and there I found this Cinderella, rocked, wired, and bluesed, the greatest hits. Never seen it before. 17 tracks, and it's a great record. Well, CD. Paid $5 for it. I spotted that, and I had to get it. I'm like, no, hands down, had to get it. That was only $5. Okay, so first set. The first set I'm going to show you is 3 records I got at a place called Rocket Ship Records in Sarasota, Florida. We went to Rocket Star Records. Now this guy was expensive. He was very expensive. Cool little shop. Just like he sold some instruments and stuff like that too. It was a cool little shop. Had me sign his mannequin. He has a mannequin at the front of the store where everybody that comes from out of state and out of country that signs it. So my wife and I, we signed it and that. And I got 3 albums from him. I'm wishing I didn't, only because of the last record shop, and I'll tell you about that when I get there. But the first one I grabbed, I just got it at a decent price, and I don't have it. Well, I got it now, but I didn't have it then, and that was the new Metallica, because I absolutely love this album. Double vinyl, double black, 180 gram. Nothing. Everybody, this has been out since 2016, so everybody knows what this album is like. I got it for like 26 bucks American. Up here, I think this one's going for 42 or 43 bucks. I saved a bit on it. I know the triple vinyl is going for like 89 up here. It's not cheap, but I figure, you know, I really like this album, and I'm like, you know, I gotta get it. The next one I got from there was limited edition Mastodon, the new one, Emperor of Sand. This is limited to, actually I don't even know, I think it's limited to 300. And this is pink vinyl, the pink Starburst vinyl. It's breast cancer awareness. I guess they did 10 bands for 10 releases, and this is one of the releases. It's a double vinyl. He had a price tag of $39 on. He gave it to me for $31, only because I bought 3 albums from him. And so, anyways, so yeah, I have this on CD. Now I have it on vinyl. I love Mastodon. They're a great band. I take it out, but it's in a Blake sleeve, and they're a pain in the neck to put in. So I'll just leave it. Oh, and if anybody's wondering, that's where I got it from, Rocket Star Records, and it is in Sarasota, Florida. And by the way, I gotta say, I loved Sarasota. Sarasota's beautiful. We went there the first day we went down there to hit the beach, Siesta Keys. We were driving over through Sarasota and that, like toward the waterfront and everything, and just $1 million homes. It's just beautiful. Palm trees. Up here in Canada, you don't get palm trees. You get $1 million homes, but not palm trees. Beautiful, beautiful place. My wife and I absolutely loved it, and we'll definitely go back to Sarasota. The only thing is we might fly there because it took us 24 hours to drive there. It was brutal. Anyways, the last release I got, I went on this Misfits kick because I bought Die Die My Darling up here. That was not the last video, the video before. I got the Die Die My Darling 12-inch, 2-song 12-inch up here, and I was on this Misfits kick. I almost bought the other one too down there, but I opted for something else, and that is Earth AD. This is just, it's a reissue, 180 gram. Actually, I haven't even opened it yet, so I think it's black vinyl. But yeah, not. So, anyways, yeah. So I got that. So I got those 3 records at Rocket Man in Sarasota, and then after that we left and went over to Kissimmee because that's where we were staying. And then there was nothing in Kissimmee, but we had already planned to do day trips to Orlando. So, of course, I'm on my phone and got the place. And as soon as I saw the name, I had to go there. This record shop was called Rock and Roll Heaven. And up in Toronto here, in Canada, we used to have a record shop called Rock and Roll Heaven, not a record shop, a bar. And Skid Row, Rush, Triumph, Saga, oh, I don't even know. We could be here for hours listing all the bands that traveled through. Kim Mitchell, Max Webster, Tea Party, everybody traveled through Rock and Roll Heaven at some point. Maybe even bands like Motley Crue were there at one point, and Rat and stuff like that. Toronto, or Rock and Roll Heaven was a big bar in Toronto at one point. Closed down now, but so when I went there, I had to go. So I bought a couple albums from there. These ones, first one up, I spotted this, hands down, I had to get it. Couldn't pass it up. This was, I had a bunch in my hand. This one always stayed in my hand. The other ones kind of went by the wayside, and I settled for another one. But this one was always in my hand. I had to grab it, and that was Control Denied. The Fragile Art of Existence. Black vinyl, 180 gram. I can't remember if it's limited. Yeah, it's just the black vinyl version. I don't know how many pressings. I get it home here to throw it on my table. You have to play it on 45. For some reason on my stereo, it won't convert it over to 45. My turntable. I'm like, really? Because I'm listening to it, I'm like, that doesn't sound right. And then I look, and it's going at 33 RPM. And I'm like, oh. So now I have to get a new turntable. But not right now. Eventually I'll get it. But yeah, that one is 180 gram black vinyl. Nothing special in terms of the vinyl. Like no colors or anything like that. The next one up, I grabbed there. I spotted it, and I love this band. And I'm again in Florida. Why not? Obituary. And this is the brand new one. Just entitled Obituary. Black vinyl. High gloss cover. I think it has a lyric sheet. But nothing out of the ordinary. No, it doesn't have a lyric sheet. That's right. Obituary never prints the lyrics on their albums, I don't think. And then I got 3 7-inch. First one I got, Tigers of Pantang, Only the Brave. Spotted that, and I'm like, that's cool. I got to get that. I haven't even opened it yet. So I got that one. Iron Maiden, 7-inch, The Evil That Men Do. Now my buddy, my best friend Chris, he's collecting these. He's got almost the whole set. I think he's got all of them but 2. And I think there's like 10 of them out or something like that. And I have 2. I'll get a couple more. They started out at $11.99 and now they're at, some of them are at $30. I only paid $11.99 for them, for these ones. And that's Infinite Dreams, with the B-side is Killers Live. Oh, Infinite Dreams is live too. And this one is The Evil That Men Do and Prowler 1988. So yeah, so the 2 Iron Maiden, I figured what the heck, I saw them there, they were $11 each. I'm gonna grab them. So that was the second record shop, Rock and Roll Heaven. And actually, Rock and Roll Heaven, the last video I did when I walked around, I showed that was Rock and Roll Heaven. This guy had everything on the walls. He had, you know, the action figures that you can buy, like the Kiss action figures and that. He had the Beatles, he had Ozzy Osbourne, he had Ace Frehley, all the Kiss stuff, multiples of different Kiss over the years that they put out. He had an Angus Young one, and this thing you can tell was so old that like the plastic cover that it was once see-through was like a yellow. That's how old it was. And he had him hanging on the walls. He had an Ace Frehley pop-out painted picture, signed. He had just Misfit stuff coming out the yin yang, signed by Glenn Danzig. He had just everything. This guy had everything. If you like country, he had a huge country section. The metal section and the punk section I find was the smallest. He had a massive room just on funk and hip hop and rap. I don't like any of that stuff, but if you're into that, this guy had everything. He had 7 inches, like just expensive though. I found like a 7 inch with the beat up paper sleeve was like $8-9, and these ones, the picture sleeves, like I paid $10 for that one. Now to me, I'll pay $10 for that because you're getting artwork and that, but I'm not one to pay stupid prices. Like I picked up a Rush one. He wanted $12 for it, and it was just a paper. I'm not paying that. Like I have a closer to the heart picture sleeve that I only paid like $8 for it. So I'm not gonna pay. And I have other stuff I want to buy. I love Rush, my favorite band, but if it's not a picture sleeve, and he did have a one picture sleeve, New World. What was the name of it? Can't remember. New World Man. If you wanted $12 and it was beat up, I'm not paying $12. I want it in good shape. And I'll wait, because eventually down the road I'll pick it up cheaper in Canada here, probably even in better shape. But that's just me. Okay, so that's Rock and Roll Heaven. That's Rocket Star Records. The other two. Okay, I got 2 more, and then that's the end. Well, 3. I'll show you what this other stuff like. Oh, and at Rock and Roll Heaven, I got a couple of postcards. I just paired this memorabilia that I like, a Rush and a Napalm Death. And I got this cool, huge Slayer sticker that I'll put on my stereo cabinet. And this Metallica, and I got a bunch of buttons too, but this Metallica. Yeah. So that's Rock and Roll Heaven. The next one up is the one I found in Daytona Beach. It just happened. It was called Atlantic Sounds, and bar none, this was the best record shop I went to. He had all the stuff, like, because at Rock and Roll Heaven, he had a nice metal section, but it was all stuff that you can, like, I can find up here, for the most part, except for the Control Tonight and the Obituary. Like, I got stuff that I couldn't find up here, but he had, like, Dawkins, Twisted Sister, Rat, Scorpions, all that stuff, and he wanted a decent buck for it. Like, it wasn't cheap. Then I hit this shop, and this guy's been around since, when does it say? 1982 it was established. The old section. I took a pop in. This guy had everything. He had on the wall, he must have had 15, at least 15 King Diamond and Merciful Fate picture discs just on the walls for sale. He had, this is where I saw the Aborted. He had everything. I wish I would have saved all my money in New Build that store and just bought everything there, because I would have blown like $300 there easily. So I went in and I grabbed what's playing in the background right now, and that is the new Obscura, Diluvium. Diluvium? Yeah. Diluvium. Oh, it came with the thing. This is straight 180 gram black vinyl. I have just about everything from this band on CD. I don't have this album. I didn't have this album. I love this band. Technical death metal out of Germany, I believe. I want to say Germany. Out on Relapse Records. Great stuff. I'll be on the hunt now for the other ones. But if you listen, great technical, progressive death metal. The next one, I didn't have it, and I had to get it, and that was at the gates, at war with reality. Now this one I'll show you, because it's a gatefold. Comes with a massive booklet, lyrics, but it comes in a booklet form, which is really, really cool. And this one is the only colored vinyl that I ended up getting. Oh, it comes with, I'm gonna have to block out my pretty face to show you this poster. At the gates, at war with reality poster. And it says gold, but to me it looks pea green. It's gold in the thing, but here, when you're sitting here looking at it and the light doesn't shine on it, it's like a pea green. And this one was limited to 1,500 copies, and my copy is, and they're hand numbered, my copy is 464 of 1,500. And the last one, see, I wish I would have bought more, because I had the new Agony Scene in my hand. I had the new Candlemass in my hand, the Aborted in my hand. What else did I have? I had a bunch in my hand that I wanted, but by this point I had already blown a wad. And the other one, the last one that I got there, was the brand new Misery Index. This is bar none probably one of my favorite death metal bands. It's Misery Index. I love this band, and I have just about everything on this band. And this is Rituals of Power. The cover is just sweet. Gatefold, 180 gram vinyl, and it comes with lyrics on the sleeve. Yeah, so like I said, and this guy actually was really reasonably priced. Like, this one was $24.99. That was the most expensive one. The Obscura was $19.99. The At the Gates was $24.99. He was reasonably priced. Like brand new, I'll pay $24, $25. Rocket Man, like, he's got $39, $40, $90. Like, his price tags were too high. So that was Atlantic Sounds in Daytona Beach. The other one, Rock and Roll Heaven, was in Orlando, and then Rocket Star Records was in Sarasota. So after we left that, my wife wanted to go to, they had a big mall in Daytona. She wanted to hit the mall. She's into clothes. I could care less. I like buying records. But I knew they had an FYE there. That was my last stop. So I hit like four record shops and then Walmart. And I picked up. I wasn't going to pick up anything. Actually, I had the new Revocation in my hand. And they wanted like $12 for it. And I'm humming and hawing. I'm like, eh. And then I'm just gandering around the store because my wife leaves me there and she goes and shops and then comes back and picks me up. Like I'm in at the babysitter's. Just drop the kid off and then we'll go. So she drops me off and I go in, I'm walking around. Well, toward the end of my thing, I was getting tired. I had already blown a wad and I really wasn't going to spend anything in there because they didn't really have anything that I wanted. And then I spotted this and it was $10. And I'm like, nope, gotta get it. And this is the new Misery Index Rituals of Power box set CD. And it comes with, I don't know, it's some kind of thing for your keys and a bottle opener all rolled into one. It comes with Misery Index patch. Misery Index sticker number 1. New Salem Misery Index number 2 sticker. Oh, laundry's done. And Misery Index number 3. I forget which one this one is. They released Rituals of Power. But they released it when they released the second song or something like that. Anyways, and then it has the Digipack. And of course the CD is in the CD player. So, yeah. So those were my purchases. That's all my records, my vinyl, and my holiday birthday. And some of these I got on my birthday. Like my wife bought me the stuff at Rock and Roll Heaven. That was for my birthday, because that was my 49th birthday down there on the 9th. And that's when I went to Rock and Roll Heaven in Orlando. Then we were going back to the thing because it was my wife's birthday on the 13th, and we were heading back to the hotel, and I think we took a wrong turn, not really purposefully. It just happened, and my wife drove by a store and she saw like a Nike clearance store. Well, I want to go in there. All right, let's go in there. So then I saw the Coliseum of Comics, and I should have taken pictures in there. This store was amazing for a comic book collector. Action figures. It had Batman, everything from Suicide Squad to Marvel to DC Comics to everything. Comic books, action figures, statues, everything. Well, I go in there to look around, and because I like kind of looking around at stuff like that, and I'm like, because I collect Kiss comics. I don't read them, I just collect them. So I asked the guy, do you have a section of Kiss comics? He goes, oh yeah, it's over here. So I ended up picking up that one. And I think this one was it was $6. It'll never come out. I'll never read it. I just collect them because I think they're cool. This one. And that one. Ace Frehley on the front. That's cool. So there you have it. That was all my stuff, as my wife calls it, plastic crap, from my Florida vacation. And then a couple of stuff that I got up here. This is probably my longest video I've ever had. Almost 33 minutes. I hope, well, now my wife and I we're going down again next year, but we're going on a cruise, so we won't be hitting any of the record shops or anything on the way out. And we're not driving down, we're flying down next year. The kids were like, that's enough driving. And my wife won't even step foot in the van anymore. She's like, I've been in that thing for so long, I don't want to see it. I'm like, okay, well, that's mine. Anyways. So yeah, anyways, that was my holiday stuff. That was everything I got on my holidays. Like, I was off now for 2 weeks. That's everything I got from on my holidays up here and down in Florida. We had a blast. I love Florida. We went from coast to coast. We went from Sarasota to Daytona, straight across, and then in between, and then up a little bit. I gotta say though, the drive was long. The drive was long, and the storm that we hit in West Virginia coming home yesterday, the day before, we had to get a hotel because the sky went black real fast. And we went in, it wasn't raining or anything, the sky was just really black and ominous. And by the time I went into the van about 5-10 minutes later, it was blowing and raining so hard that the van was actually moving up and down and back and forth. And the rain, as it hit the back of the van from the wind, actually looked like a wave coming off the back of the van and hitting it. I had never seen, and I was in a hurricane on my honeymoon back in '98. We were in a Category 3 hurricane, and this down in the mid, like, it was brutal, just brutal, the rain. And then coming through the mountains in, I think it was the Carolinas? No, the Virginia. Just brutal rain. Brutal rain. My wife was driving at that point, and she was white-knuckling. I was white-knuckling it. Because she tends to drive a little fast. And in that weather, I was saying a prayer on more than one occasion. But anyways, all these experiences, all these memories, love it. Wouldn't trade it for the world. Thank God we arrived home safe. Showed you all my stuff. And yeah, so I will see you guys next video. Hopefully it won't be as long because I tucked money aside and I'm going to go buy more records. Anyways, peace out, guys. God bless.